Okay, so in this lesson, I'm going to be talking about something that we call the stages of awareness. So when you are thinking about ideal clients, when you're trying to write sales copy, to speak to your one reader, apart from knowing, who they are, you also need to know where they are in their along the buying journey. So I'm just going to delete that bit. Okay, so there's 5 stages of awareness. I'm just going to go through them all to give you an overview, and then we're going to look at how you're going to start applying those to specific marketing assets. And I've got a worksheet here, and I'm going to go through that for each stage of awareness as well. So you can kind of see how it all pulls together depending on what you're writing and who you're writing for. Okay, so first the overview here. So the first stage of awareness is unaware. So this is completely cold. This is basically people who don't even know that a solution exists for the problem because it's not something that is on their radar. So I've given a pretty extreme example here. So the solution we're going to be looking at in this exercise is a program that helps women to lose weight and get fit at a certain sort of stage of their life. And so an unaware audience would be, we could even say, women who are, much younger, or, in this case, like just completely different teenagers who's shopping online to find a stereo. Okay, so you don't want to spend your time and energy trying to talk to people who just aren't in your demographics. So we can safely ignore that and move on to the pain aware people, or problem aware. So these are the people who know they've got a problem, but they're not quite sure what the solution is for it yet. So if we look at our example of this program that helps women of a certain age lose weight, a pain or problem aware prospect or a person will be a woman who is in that age group, and she's unhappy with how she's looking or feeling, say after having kids. So you could dial in and be that specific about it. Now the thing with people at this stage is that they're still quite woolly about where they're at and what the solution might be. So they kind of know something's not right. They know they've got a problem, but they haven't gone to the next stage of thinking about how they might solve that problem. So if you're marketing to people at that stage is more broad, so it's where your content marketing comes in, articles, PR, just anything that's kind of brand awareness and putting your name out there. If you want to just to reach that wider pool. So you're not going to be offering them anything. This isn't sales copy at this point. It's more content marketing. And what often happens is that there are brands in your industry, big brands, who are already doing this. So in a way, you can quite safely leave it to them because they'll have the resources to invest in it. And then you just focus on picking people up when they've moved on to the next stage, which is solution aware. Okay, so solution aware generally is a cold audience. Okay, so if we go back to our example, we've got the same woman. She knows she's not feeling great, and she knows that the solution is managing her diet and her exercise, and she's kind of ready to take the step that she needs to take, but she's not sure which of all the different approaches that she's seen online is the right one for her. So she's started doing the research. She's seen that there's this way and that way, and there's all these different sort of mind-boggling array of different approaches she could take, and she hasn't got to the point where she's decided on which is the right one for her. So it can be tempting to go out and educate people in this stage of awareness and say, look, you've got this problem and I can help you fix it, and here's my solution. But again, it's quite a big job to do, because you've got to kind of get them and then really convince them that the thing that you're offering is the right thing for them. And so the marketing assets that are good for this stage are, again, your brand awareness stuff, social media posts, sending sort of emails in a broader sense, talking about what you do and, you know, specifically how you work. I mean, you can run Facebook ads if you like, if you're at that stage. And then the 5-day challenge, you know, if you're running 5-day challenges, these work so well because they take people at this solution aware stage and you get them straight through to the most aware, which we're going to talk about. So you kind of almost, well, it's not skip, but you work that the 5-day challenge allows you to move them through these stages really, really quickly instead of leaving them to kind of do it at their own pace. So that's one of the reasons why 5-day challenges work so well to a cold audience. Right, so your product aware audience, they can still be cold, but quite often they're warm as well. So, you know, they're going to be familiar to you. They can be a cold audience in the sense that they know that the solution, that specific solution that you have is the one that they want. They just haven't decided specifically that it's your one that they want. So if we go back to our example, she's gone through this stage. She knows that she needs to manage her diet and exercise, and she's decided that there's a specific way that she wants to approach it based on all the stuff she said, and she knows that, you offer that kind of solution, okay? And she's at that point of to be ready to commit to doing the work. So, you know, these are almost, I guess, what we'd start calling ideal clients, where they're coming in and they're kind of ready to work with you. And so, as you can imagine, the job to take them from here through to a client, it's not, there's not as many stages that they need to, that this woman or your clients need to go through. And so, in terms of marketing assets, you know, the same kind of marketing assets, but the focus becomes slightly different. And again, the 5-day challenge is a brilliant way to take people who are at this stage as well and move them through to being the most aware. But there's, and I hope this is coming across. So back up here where we've got things like the blog posts and, you know, going on podcast. This is the reason why if you're writing blog posts, you don't necessarily, I mean, you can get into the nitty gritty, but your time and effort's is going to reap greater rewards if you match your social media content to people at this stage rather than up at that stage. And vice versa, trying to sell someone off a blog post is a big ask. So the blog post could be a way to take them then to some other part of your funnel or whatever you're doing and move them down the stage of awareness funnel. And so the final one is your red hot audience, and they're most aware. And so going back to example, so the woman that we're talking about here is she knows what she wants. She knows that you offer it. Now this is where your offer becomes important. Okay. And I think this is maybe where people get a bit confused. So your solution or your program isn't your offer. Your offer is how you frame it to your clients so that they understand exactly what is entailed. And so the marketing assets for that are things like your sales page, any retargeting ads that you're doing if you're running ads, and sales emails that you're running, sending to people on your challenge list, or any other sales emails you might be sending out. I'll put that here. You know, if you're you know, doing a mini launch or something, and sending out an offer to your audience, and also we could do offer CTA posts. Okay, so the you know, the posts that you put out making an offer. So the idea is that you are now talking to this person who is most aware. So you just want to focus in on presenting the offer because she already knows this other stuff. Is everyone who's going to read this stuff going to perfectly fit into this bracket? No. But the point is you want to make sure that you're all very clear on who it is you want to be talking to at each stage of this marketing message awareness. So hopefully that makes sense as an overview of these 5 stages of awareness, and then I will go through how we start applying this in real life scenarios.